Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jarrett Lang, Vice President here at WA Smith Financial. With me is Andrew Taccacelli, Senior Vice President. And really important, we had an awesome case example come through the office here recently. Wanted to share it with you all. And Joe and Patty came in for a retirement tune-up financial review. Let's go through the details of this and share it with everyone.
It's such a common case that we see that it makes sense to share it with you guys because the big question was, can I retire ASAP?
Yep.
Joe hates his job at the end of the day. Is the bottom line is he hated his job and he wants to get out. Can he retire? Is the general question that's being asked here, right?
Yeah, same question we get in a roundabout way, whether they say it one way or another. It's usually always the same. Do I have enough? Am I going to be okay? Will this work? Can we do it now? Can we do it in a year or two or three? How's it all play out from there?
Yeah. What's that question mean to you? Like when somebody says, hey, can I retire? I don't like my job anymore. I want to retire next month. Like what are they actually asking?
I think they're asking if I retire and that paycheck that I've become accustomed to living off of for 20, 30, 40 years, however long that career is, if that paycheck goes away, how do I replace that? You know, because you think about, do you have a pension? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I think it's a dying breed of retiree that has that pension they can fall back on. Will Social Security be enough? If not, is there going to be a shortfall? And how do I get that paycheck? I think that's what I hear.
That's what I hear too. And so Joe and Patty, they had $750,000 saved up, you know, between all of their nest egg. We're going to talk about their income need. What we found is that they needed about $5,000 per month to live off of, cover all the expenses. And again, wanting to retire like tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the basics, right? It's ready to retire, $750,000. They need $5,000 a month. The only fixed income that they would be looking at coming in is Social Security of about
$1,500 each.
Yeah, so about $3,000. So
now
we have a short.
That's at age 62. So we're basically saying, hey, if you take it at age 62, that was their benefit statement showing $1,500 a month per. Both Joe and Patty would get that.
Yeah. So where do we start? You know, Joe and Patty come in. They ask that first question. Where did we start?
Yeah, I think it's understanding exactly what the main concerns are. So before you get into investment allocation and where should you put your money and do you have enough, I think it's really important that we as an advisor know, why do you want to retire? What concerns do you have? What questions do you have? So this is some of what Joe and Patty talked about. Not sure how to invest their retirement money. Okay. They were self-proclaimed novices. This is not their forte, right? So they are not the type of person who wants to retire and manage their own money. This is really important because you hear a lot, and we've heard it on this channel before. You don't need a financial advisor. You shouldn't pay a financial advisor. Well, that could be true for some people. Absolutely not true for everyone. How many people do we meet on a regular basis who go, no, I need you. I need a guide. I'm not doing this on my own.
And sometimes the only thing they do know is, I know I have enough money.
Yep.
You know, I know I've accumulated enough. I have no idea how to start taking it, when to take it, how to take it, which tax status to draw from, when to take Social Security, how do I take my pension? The list goes on.
And Joe and Patty even said that they told the advisor that they sat down with for the tune-up, they told them, hey, we actually think we're in pretty good shape.
Yep.
But we have questions. How do we invest it? What type of risk exposure should we take or should we not take? Worried about how to handle and pay for health care, which is a huge hurdle for most people when it comes to this conversation and this question. How do they balance investing to still grow their money, but they want to keep it safe at the same time, right? So we want to have our cake, but we want to eat it too. What do we do? How do we accomplish that?
Yep.
Disagreed on the budget. I think this is a big one.
This is where we start a lot of times in the retirement tune-up financial review is, well, number one, we got to pick that retirement date, which we've identified as tomorrow.
Yeah.
For Joe.
So yesterday.
Yeah. The second thing is, hey, well, like what are you going to live off of? What do you need to pay the bills, but also keep doing all of the fun activities? Well, this is a common theme that we see when somebody comes in is Joe and Patty started out at $3,000 a month. Kind of in agreement a little bit.
That's what they told the advisor they thought they needed?
That's what they're telling the advisor. Hey, we need $3,000 a month to live off of. Well, Joe didn't totally agree. He thought they may spend more once they retire. He had some fun stuff that he wanted to do. Patty thought expenses would stay the same. What our team does, and what a really good financial advisor should be able to do, is we call it a sanity check.
Yeah.
Right. And so we sanity checked their budget. And what we found was they weren't covering any of their hobbies at the end of the day: vacations, travel. Joe's a big motorcycle guy. He wants to go out and start working on motorcycles, and every day is what?
Saturday.
Every day is Saturday. And so we identified about $2,000 a month that they need in addition to that $3,000. $3,000 just paid the bills at the end of the day.
I think there's a difference between need and want, right? So that's an easy way that you could decipher this. You go, hey, I need $3,000 to pay utilities, to put food on the table, to pay my taxes, to pay my insurance bill. I want $5,000 because in retirement, I just worked this whole career to get to this point. And the question for Joe and them is, if we want $5,000 after we decipher, hey, sanity check the budget, you're short on what you're thinking here. If we want $5,000, if we retire now, like Joe wants to do, is that too much to ask of the portfolio? And will it last however long they're going to be there, right? So here's another one that I wanted to talk about. So legacy planning was not a concern. We see this one a lot. We start asking somebody, hey, how important is it that you leave some money to your kids? Is that a high priority? Is it a low priority? For Joe and Patty, it was whatever is left will go to their son. And outside of that, we don't care. Yeah. So talk about the mentality of that for a second, because we hear that a lot.
Yeah. And it's a mentality that I don't mind. It's like, hey, I'm not going to sacrifice my retirement and not do all the fun things that I want to do. I've worked hard and I want to spend. And if there happens to be money left over, that's not a bad mentality. But what can go wrong is if it's inevitable that there's going to be money left behind, why not do it more efficiently? Whether that's more tax efficiently, whether that's leaving more, just in general, there's strategies that, whether you're the person who wants to bounce the last check or you're the person who really wants to leave that legacy to your children or charities or whatever it may be, there's planning opportunities that you have to look at, even if you have that mentality of, I'll be dead. I don't care what happens. They can pay the taxes and they get what they get.
Yeah.
So, I think individuals wanting to spend their money and not, worry about scaling back because they're leaving money, that's not, that's okay. That's a great mentality to have, but don't let that get in the way that there's still planning opportunities.
Sure. Okay. So got all the facts. Now, again, this was one retirement tune-up meeting, an hour-long meeting with an advisor. Had this conversation, gathered all this information. What was the result here? So if we're Joe and Patty, we've got $750,000. We have a $2,000 a month shortfall that the portfolio needs to cover outside of Social Security. What's the math say? Can they do it? Is it red light, green light, yellow light? What's the result?
Yeah. So bottom line is, $24,000, $2,000 a month is that shortfall. $24,000 against $750,000. It's a 3.2% withdrawal rate. So when you just look at it from that standpoint, I'm looking at that saying that's a yellow light looking pretty close to a green light if you get the proper planning. So Joe and Patty, it's, hey guys, this works. Like if you're ready to call it quits tomorrow, let's get a written plan that tells you exactly how to do it, to find some purpose to your money, make sure that you know exactly how you're going to get that income stream. Then you're all good to go. Where people can go wrong is there's still risks that they face out there. You make that call to retire, but you don't put together any sort of plan. Now you got market risk that, could derail your plan. You have health, that could derail your plan. You have tax liabilities, all these different key planning areas that you have to address before you call it quits. Yep. Even though the numbers say, you should be in pretty good shape.
There's one thing I want to add here because this comes up a lot. We're talking about net numbers here. $5,000 a month is what Joe and Patty need hitting their bank account.
Right.
So if you take this one step further, and we're keeping it simple here today, but take it one step further. Let's assume that Joe and Patty have a 15% tax liability. That $750,000 that they have is mostly qualified money, meaning when they take a distribution and they take a withdrawal, they have to pay federal and state income taxes on it. if you account for that 15% total tax liability that we're assuming maybe in their tax bracket on their income they might have to pay, the need goes up from 24,000 to say closer to 30,000. But the math still works out, because if you take 30,000 out of $750,000 a year, it's only a 4% rate of withdrawal per year.
Yep.
So still a pretty safe zone. I think at the end of the day, the result of this is that, hey, put a good plan together, focus on the foundation, which is income, forget about everything else for a second. You can do this if we do some good strategy planning on the front lines.
And it starts with making sure you have the proper budget.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it starts with making sure you have that all your expenses covered, to know that your plan can cover it all, at the end of the day.
Now, don't be scared about the word budget. We're not telling you that in retirement that you have to live on a budget. We're saying for planning purposes, maybe use a different word. How much do you need? What is that golden number monthly that you say, hey, if I got this amount hitting the bank account every month, I can do everything I want to do and then some. And then a good plan, a good advisory session, going through a retirement tune-up with us, that'll help you figure out all the details, work on all those additional risks that you could face that might affect that income plan and your plan moving forward. So bottom line here, you have a scenario that you want us to cover. Give us the specifics. Drop it in the comments below. We'd be happy to break it down for you. Better yet, if you're ready to have us go through this one-on-one, schedule a retirement tune-up. There's a link in the description below that you can click on if you want to schedule that appointment. We'll be bringing more scenarios to you just like this, so stay tuned for more. With that, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.